Hello, and today I want to talk about something that a lot of women experience, and that is something that happens kind of slowly, quietly, behind the scenes as well too, and that's the cost of kind of leaving themselves behind, living kind of with a little bit of self-abandonment, and not even realizing kind of the cumulative effects of what happens to them over the course of years and decades. So we're going to talk about that today, really kind of what the cost is of abandoning yourself and how this can show up in our life when we have been kind of a little bit unaware of what has been going on behind the scenes as well too. And not to shame ourselves, not to berate ourselves by any means. It's just, again, it's the first step is that awareness and seeing where this might be able to show up in our life. All right, again, my name is Krista. Welcome to this video. I am doing a series on coming home to yourself and why it's so important, and kind of noticing the ways we disconnect and really kind of trying to bridge that connection back to ourselves as well too. Okay, so how this shows up, it's subtle and it builds over time. And one of the first ways where we can see this self-abandonment happen is symptoms in our bodies. Those little kind of nagging symptoms that we're not even quite sure why they're there. It could be, that little pain in your hip, that little kind of flutter somewhere in your body as well too, that neck tension, all those kind of things that, there's nothing kind of quite wrong, but your body's starting to give you symptoms as well too. So this might be a way of your body sending its message to yourself. And oftentimes we might ignore and not really pay attention to those little subtle symptoms, but those, they're messengers from your body and they're trying to speak to you. So it's being aware. And, if you've had a lifetime of kind of not abandoning yourself, this might start to show up in symptoms in your bodies, all right, which is quite common. Another way it might show up in our life is just having chronic tension, just this chronic deep stress, and you've almost started to normalize it. It's just become your kind of way of life, and you don't even kind of question it. You just start to think this is just who I am, and just kind of that's just your default. That's your normal way of being. And but no one's really meant to live like this, really. So again, if you've had chronic tension, I mean, obviously life, we dip in and out of that, but it's not meant to, go on for months, years, or anything like that. Your body's speaking to you. And this might be a way of maybe where you've kind of disconnected with your body and it's showing up with that kind of chronic stress and tension in your body as well too. One thing that I experience personally is not even knowing what you want. Really, just when someone asks you a question, what do you want? And you're kind of like, I don't even know what I want. And I experienced this. I was, what do you want? I'm like, I don't even know what I want. It had been such a long time that I hadn't even thought about it. I didn't even question it before. And then it can start really subtly. It's like, where do you want to go for dinner on Friday night? And you're like, I don't know, where do you want to go, right? It just becomes easier to kind of just let somebody else decide all the time. And that was something that I did for quite a while too, until I kind of really had to look at that. So again, it can start subtle, just like, what do you want to do? Well, I don't know. And so really starting to look at that, if you are kind of clueless about where you're going, what you want in life, and you're just kind of going along with what everyone else is doing, then that might be one of the symptoms or signs that you've disconnected with yourself. You've kind of abandoned what your needs are, and that's one, and that's certainly one that I experience as well too. So just really not knowing what you want is something to consider as well too. And another way it might show up in your life, and this one again is me as well too, is not being able to say no when you want to say no. You just kind of say yes because you want to be agreeable, you want people to like you, you don't want to rock the boat, you don't want to have any conflict, you don't want to upset somebody else in your life, so you just say yes when you mean no. And I did that as well too. And now I'm not doing that. Now if if it's not like a hell yes, like I say no. And I say no, and I don't even offer an explanation. I just say no and zip it up. If you start having to over explain yourself, you're not strong in that. You don't have that conviction. So again, that might be one way where it's showing up for you as well too, when you kind of just say yes to everything and you don't even want to do it, but you just do it because that's what you've always done. All right. Another way it might show up for you is never asking for help. You are quick to help everybody else out, but if you're feeling overwhelmed, if you have too much on your plate and you believe that you are the only one that can do this, and just being unable to ask for help from anybody, you want to be able to kind of ask for help, and that's okay. That's okay to do for yourself as well too. What else? It might show up, like I said before, like putting others first, and being able to take care of everybody else but yourself, whether that be family, your neighborhood, your kids' school, just whatever it may be. Kind of just taking care of everybody else before you put your needs first for yourself as well too. Just being, women, and we've been kind of trained to do this as well too, being everything for everybody and being the good daughter-in-law, the good mother, the good sister, the whatever it may be. And so that may be where it's showing up in your life as well too. If this is something you always do, be aware that you might have that disconnection and you might be abandoning yourself without even realizing it as well too. Another way it potentially could show up is you're just always strong. You have to keep it together. You have to be the strong one. You have to appear like you've got all your stuff together, even when internally you're kind of falling apart, but you are unable to vocalize what you are feeling, what you're experiencing, and you just keep it all to yourself. That might be another way your body is speaking to you as well too. So something to consider with that as well too. And you might appear to be one of those women that look like they've got all their stuff together, and but inside you just feel this disconnection. You feel maybe a little bit numb. You feel like you're going through the motions. You're not experiencing any joy in your life. You're not experiencing any fun, blissful experiences, sensations in your body. It's just kind of like you've been tapped off. You're just going through the motions. So this might be a way showing you, again, with no judgment, of where you're disconnecting from your body and what you know to be true as well too. So these are all just different ways to kind of build on the last two videos, learning how we kind of, first of all, do kind of disconnect from our bodies, our knowing, our inner wisdom, our guidance, and also, why we self-abandon as well too. And this is just another video to kind of show how it might play out in your day-to-day life. Sometimes we don't maybe put the little breadcrumbs together, little baby steps, but sometimes maybe one of these examples might resonate with you. Maybe there's more than one, maybe they're all there as well too. And you're just kind of going, okay, I never really thought about this before, but yeah, that sounds exactly like me. And I just never considered that before. I never really kind of had the awareness to notice that was how it was playing out. And really that is my goal with this video, is just for you to kind of reflect and see if any of this makes sense for you, to see if it's something that you might be experiencing in your day-to-day life, but maybe never haven't considered it before. And again, at this point, all I want to do is just to notice. That's it. It's just noticing, oh, okay, I do that as well too. And because that's the first step. And if you want to have that deeper connection with your body, with yourself, with your intuition, at this point, it's just really, let's just notice that. And it's enough. That's the first step as well too. And it's not going to happen magically overnight. Like I mentioned before, it's a very slow, it's a very subtle. It's very subtle. It's not noisy. And it's just a very quiet kind of returning to yourself. And but then changes start to happen as well too. So just curious if there's any of these ways where you might be self-abandoning, if there's ways, you know, the cost of, you know, a lifetime of doing this. Let me know in the comments which one resonated the most with you. Which ways are you self-abandoning that you've maybe never realized before, of the examples I've given. And I'm just kind of curious to see what is the most common and, you know, what resonated with you the most. So anyway, so this is going to conclude series, the third series of Coming Back to Yourself. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if this content resonates, so that I know you're enjoying it as well too. And please, I'd love to know in the comments what kind of stood out for you today too. And anyway, I wish you all a lovely day, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.